Hello, beautiful souls. Happy weekend, or whenever you're watching this. It's raining here where I am. It's beautiful. It's not snow, so I'm happy. Look at the rain. I love the rain. I just wanted to come on and share a little experience I just had. And just, this is just to lighten it up for people to realize that there's always growth and always healing that goes on. I don't want to say a confrontation, but I had a trigger come out, and it was something in somebody else. And, you know, in that moment they were asking my opinion, and it was being pushed back onto me, and it was like an ego-based thing. And I was like, well, no, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and this is what it is. And then I sat with it, and it started to grow, and it was like flaming the flames of a fire being fanned. Then I sat with myself. I felt myself get very emotionally reactive. And I sat with it, and I'm like, why am I being blamed for something I didn't do? And I was like, I have a wound. I have a past life wound I've lived many lives where I have been accused of things that I haven't done and killed for them. And like many of us, that's why we bring them into this life. And it was so cool to see it. And I sat in meditation, and instead of reacting emotionally, hi Lori. I'll get on to that after too, because this week has been very emotionally reactive, and we're heading into Scorpio too. The Scorpio season is like all about the triggers and the passion. And so past life, you know, these past life experiences in this life, I've always felt like I've been in trouble or being blamed for shit I haven't done, whether in my relationships, whether in my childhood, or even now I still have these moments where it's like, I'm going to get in trouble and I haven't even done anything. And I sat with this, and I'm getting chills right now. And I put on a meditation, and I cried, and I felt this pain of being accused of things and not being able to speak my truth. Because you ever feel those moments where you clog up and you're like, I can't speak, or you speak in a non-loving way. And I found myself almost getting to that point where I started raising my voice, and I'm like, this is not me. I don't have to fight this. When we fight that energy, we're feeding it. We're feeding that entity. We're giving it what it wants. We're giving the ego of somebody else what it wants. And I just was like, no, I'm not going to do this, because I actually got upset. And I brought myself back though. Before, like a year ago, I would have gotten upset about something like this, and I would have gone down the rabbit hole, and it would have been a fight, and it would have been this, and it would have been like the ego pulling back and forth. You see energy pulling off of people. It's like that ego battle. And I was like, this isn't what I want. And I actually went and talked to my daughter. My daughter is a very gifted being, and we talked about this, and I was meditating, and I'm like, watch me, see if you feel anything being released. And as soon as I got into that healing, like that release within myself, doing the energy work, untying the knots in my system, she was like, man, my ears are ringing, and I'm seeing things come out of you. And I'm like, man, this shit is magical. And I'm not kidding you. So right after I finished this work, this 20-minute work on myself, this energetic work, being aware, releasing, and this, don't kid yourself, this is going to be something that I have to continue to work on for the next week or 2 weeks, just to get my energy back in alignment. It's pulling shadows out, but it's beautiful when we're aware. I'm not kidding you. As soon as I did that, magical things started happening. Synchronistic things started happening. I got a text message from this person that before it would have been like a no-no for a week. It would have ended in a horrible fight. And it was just like, I get awe-inspired by this. Like the magic that we possess when we have mastery over our emotions, even if we fall victim to our own emotions for that moment, pulling ourselves back into the 0 point, sitting on your freaking throne and being like, I'm going to work through this. I'm not going to dismiss this. And it was funny because I was just telling this person about their dismissiveness and how this is why these things keep happening to them, because they were asking my opinion, but then they were dismissing me. And I'm like, oh, it's me. I'm dismissing my own things. That is what it is. I am dismissing my own healing here. So I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was so amazing. So when you feel these things come up, dig into them, work on them. And on the other side of things, I'm going to comment on Lori's comment there about being emotionally triggered right now, because these energies are strong. Like this last week, and I've said this in a previous live, what I envisioned coming out of Mercury retrograde, coming out of all these planets in retrograde, I had this vision of a slingshot. And it's all about aligning with our highest timeline and making those choices in the now moment to continue to align with this timeline. You know, it's okay to feel these triggering emotions, but we need to dig in and not project them on other people. We need to dig into our own internal struggle, our own internal battle going on within, whether it's conscious or subconscious, and ask ourselves what in me needs to be healed. And like for me, this was a past life thing. And I never even used to believe in past lives, but the work that I've done in the last few years, they have existed. Our souls are eternal. Like our souls have been around for thousands upon tens of thousands, sometimes even longer years in different star systems and different energies. Energy is neither created or destroyed. So that's just what it is. That's what we are in this beautiful moment. So these planets all going back into motion after all being in retrograde for so long. It was like this slingshot pulling back during retrograde for months. And then this Mercury retrograde that we just had pulled it back a little bit farther. And so it's the trajectory that the slingshot was on. If we're getting ready to align with a higher timeline, the slingshot was pulling back and down so it could launch us up. If we were sitting where we have been and haven't been doing the work, we might go straight on the same timeline. If we are regressing in our healing and just being like, I'm fine, dismissing, the slingshot was literally pulled up and pointing to the ground. So we all know physics. What's going to happen? Where are you going to be launched? Where are we setting our rockets to be launched? In our energetic sovereignty, in our frequency, in our thoughts, in our words to ourselves, especially to others. If we do mess up, are we giving ourselves forgiveness and compassion, or are we beating ourselves up? That is the key, because we're not perfect beings. And if you think that I walk around being perfect all the time, like I still yell at my kids. I have moments. We slip up during the day. It's about asking for that forgiveness from other people and from ourselves, forgiving ourselves, not being so hard on ourselves. And you know what? Lori just said, I thought I'd feel the shift and immediately feel better. Yeah, it did happen. We felt it. And this week, it's like we got shot up. But there's always that feedback, that fallback after the initial shot. It's like anything. There's expansion and contraction are always happening. So you may feel like you've been shot up, and then there's going to be a little bit of regression. Just make sure it's, you take 5 steps forward and maybe only 1 back, whereas you're not taking 1 step forward and 10 steps back. We're going to continue that upward trend. It's a trend. It's not a constant, it's not a constant. There's always going to be those little bumps in the road, but it's riding those waves and understanding that we have full control over that. Well, I don't want to say control. We have full surrender. We have full power over our thoughts. Our thoughts are the one thing we can control. We have control over. I'm going to pull a card though. I feel amazing after that. Like it was just like so eye-opening to me. As you can see, my eyes are still a little red from working through those emotions, those deep-rooted emotions in me. And you know what? I fell down into that hole for a moment where I was like, oh my God, this person, that, and this. And it's like, no, this person has nothing to do with what's going on. This is all on me. My reaction to them is all on me. And how I choose to go forward is all on me. I teach this. I can't victimize myself, but it's catching ourselves in that and not falling down the hole for a day or a week or a month. It's catching ourselves in that and choosing to step out and be like, I am fucking on my throne. I am empowered. I got this. I am the master of my emotions and my energy. And I'm not going to give that stuff to anybody. That is mine. That is mine to keep for me so I can spread it out where it needs to be. Anyway, we're going to pull a card. This is the Ask Your Guides Oracle. I love this Oracle. So we're going to clear them and ask Spirit, what is in our highest best guidance right now? Spirit, what does the collective need to see right now? Hopefully they don't all fall out. Spirit, I just want 1 card. What is the collective need going forward in these energies today? I find they're very cleansing with the rain here in Calgary. We're in Scorpio season. So Scorpio is this it's like the firecracker of the zodiac. We are in this passionate energy. We are in this energy of miracles. The veil is so thin right now. So all your choices will manifest so quickly. So make sure those thoughts and those feelings are in alignment with what you want, where you're going. And when they're not, bring them back into alignment. Alignment is key. Bring them back into alignment. And tomorrow I'm excited. My course is on. We're doing number 2. Tomorrow is the ego versus the intuition. And I love teaching that. It's the funnest thing in the world because it's so powerful when we can tune into our intuition and understand our ego is just like nonsense a lot of the time. It's there to protect us. It's important. So the first card that came out was the Judgment card, because we judge ourselves so harshly and we feel like we're being judged by everybody around us or by a god or whatever. And it's not true. The only being that judges us is us. And releasing self-judgment is so powerful because we get to move forward. The next one that came up reverse was compromise. So this is so important in day-to-day life, to learn that compromise is key. Compromise in our life. We can't always be right. Don't go into a situation being a right fighter. It's important to listen and to understand and to come from a place of compassion and reverence for everybody around us. And there's always a compromise. There always is. And there has to be. It's energy. Energy needs to compromise. And the last one was self-control. Emotional mastery. These 3 cards are all about mastering our emotions and understanding that we are in control. These cards, like 2 of them are higher self cards and one's a master teacher. These are all about mastering our emotions right now in these times. It is so important. It always has been, to keep going inside and releasing, knowing that there's nothing wrong with you. You know, when I say heal, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, because you're perfect, whole, and complete at every step in your journey, and you're exactly where you need to be. It's understanding that we need to expand. And we need to ever expand, and by releasing density from our system, we make more room for light and expansion, and we can embody more consciousness and more energy. So continue releasing so we can expand. It's a constant synthesis of energy. Anyway, I love you so much. Thank you for listening to my rant. I just wanted to share that because when these moments of magic happen for me, my jaw still drops because they happen all the time, and I'm still just like in awe of it. I want to share them and teach and show and share the wisdom that we all are tapped in and tuned into this energy. It's where our mind is. It's where our frequency is. Are you tuned into the frequency of fear, guilt, and shame that aren't going to get you any magic in your life? Or are you becoming magnetic by tuning into this joy and gratitude and abundance? Like when amazing things happen, you're watching for synchronicities and they show up and you follow that guidance. Continue to follow it. Follow that intuition. Love the ego a little bit more, but tell it to be quiet so you can listen to your intuition. I love you. Have an amazing day. Bye.